What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Shibui Anime Tavern. Today, we are talking about a new anime this season, Solo Leveling. This is going to be a kind of review, synopsis of the first two episodes. So, I'm Mayogetsu. I'm here with my good friend, Jason.
What's going on?
And this was a doozy, man. I like this one a lot. It was fun.
Like coming into this blind, like I've heard of Solo Leveling, the manga, never read
same.
it. I've seen it at bookstores when I go buy manga and all that stuff, but like heard it was an anime coming out. I was like, cool, sounds like something I'd be into. Whew, these first two episodes, man, let me just tell you something, it's intense.
Man, like, after the first one, I was hooked. The way it landed on the cliffhanger, I'm like, no!
It ended so good, too. And that's like, and on a quick subject before, like, even the review, like, this is the part I get excited about, like, from not being able to binge watch anime, is like, I had to wait until episode 2 to see how episode 1 ended and, like, what's going on afterwards. It gets intense, and, like, like the whole first episode, since we're starting on that one, it starts off pretty lighthearted. You understand what the characters, their class ranks, all that stuff. But
well, it starts in the world, like, in the normal world, these portals open to like these dungeons, and if they don't close them, then the monsters come into
I believe
the real
7
world,
days.
basically.
Yeah, you have 7 days, and and then it gives them that introduces what these people, these people are, these warriors that have certain set of skills. Hunters, yes. That they get their graded and their level checked, and then they get put into ranks and classes. And the higher rank you are, the more tougher these portal or dungeons you got to go take care of. And then
we have ranks E through S.
Yep.
And of course, our hero is not a rank S, but the lowest E rank.
I think he's lowest in E rank too. That's the thing.
Believe so.
Almost zero success. Well, I mean, he's successful in his dungeons, but he's practically almost dead at the end of every dungeon.
Every time he finishes, he's almost dead. He's basically fodder for the monsters.
Right. He and how you know this is you meet one of his these side characters, his friends of his name, Lee Jo-hee, I believe I said her name correctly, and she's just like, I'm tired of healing you. She's like, listen, every dungeon I go in with you, like she literally follows him to these dungeons because she's like, I feel like I just need to protect you because you almost die every time. He's coming in like to this group with bandages on his face and not clean cut at all. But I mean, she's trying his best as a low E rank to make ends meet. This is their jobs. So
they come into I forget the rank of the dungeon they're going in.
It wasn't high. It was one of the lower ones, like D or something like that.
I believe so. I think it was D or C. It wasn't very high. So they go in, and the group of hunters is kind of jacking all the monsters up. They're trying to get these like shards that the monsters have to. I'm still totally not sure about what they do.
I think you can use them to craft weapons or even sell.
Or they think the government's using these crystals that they're capturing for them. This is how they get paid from the dungeons. However much, these shards they come back with, and they get paid, an equivalent amount.
And aren't some shards worth more than others, I think?
They are. It goes by, like, what kind of monster you kill. Like, what's this boy's name? Sung Jin Woo is the main character. Yes. And he gets lucky and kills, like, some fodder monster, and he gets a shard. So he's, like, making his, day's pay, but he is beat the hell. Like, he is all bloody and just not doing very good.
Lee Jo-hee's already on him healing. Like, she's like, listen, everybody else fight. I got this.
Right.
So.
And everybody else is pretty, mopping things up pretty easily.
Yep. No casualties in the party. Yeah, no casualties.
So they kind of just, take all the monsters down, and then they notice a like a cave type thing?
Yeah,
within
something off
the dungeon.
Path. Yeah.
Something off the path that they're not supposed to go into. They're supposed to like go report it, and then they check it out and determine what rank it is and stuff. But they make a decision as a group to go in the cave, and that's where shit goes down.
Yeah. Very. What this reminded me of is another anime. I think we even referenced this in our other reviews, but Sword Art Online, when Kirito lost his first guild he was a part of, like they get in that trap dungeon and it ends up being a higher level and the whole party gets wiped type thing situation. That's what this was like. They go in, giant statues everywhere, big. Yeah. They have no idea what's going on. They're just
and we've all seen rooms like these, big, giant vaulted ceilings with a ton of statues and like one big statue.
Yep, and they all notice the really big statue, and they're like, "Well, this must be the something important about it." And of course, there's clues, like you even glimpse on the statue holding what they said were commandments, and then crazy things happen.
Crazy things happen. The door's shut.
Yeah, door's shut.
Yeah.
And then shit goes down. Part of my language, but it goes down fast. And let's do just party members that you almost kind of feel are important to this.
Or story. Like you would like to get to know them.
Yeah.
Just
you
gone.
never get to. Yeah. Goodbye.
Yeah, so,
and
So the big statue, the one that's it's supposed to represent like God or a god or something like that, and it just starts mowing people down with laser beams, just
from its eyes,
cutting them.
Well, even the side statues, when people were trying to escape, were no, and they were just gutting these people. And exactly. I think towards the end of this part, they realized they just found a dungeon that's way above their group's level expertise.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh shit, we're fucked."
Yeah. So, and then that's pretty much episode 1, just showing everybody getting mutilated. Boom. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, that's literally episode 1, and then you're left with that, and you have no idea what's gonna happen, and everybody's just dying and has no clue what to do.
Yeah. So, episode 2 doesn't start off as chill as episode 1. No. You go right back into people getting murdered and brutally ripped apart, and then after watching enough bloodshed, Sung, the main character, basically just starts trying to kind of figure out what the hell, like there's always a way out of these dungeons. There's always like a task or defeat the boss. There's always a way.
He like goes back to those commandments on that. I don't know if it's a tome or what it's on. Something.
Yeah, it's on like a well, what's the word I'm looking for? It's on a stone like tablet.
A tablet, yeah. He notices them, and then he really starts to dwell on what it says and like decipher the meaning of it. And he decides to like get down on his knees and like he's praying to the thing, because the first commandment was oh jeez,
yeah, I don't remember. I remember just like devout yourself. Let me get the information.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was worship me as though I were God.
The first one was to revere God.
Okay, to revere God.
Yeah.
It was praise. Yeah, revere, praise, and then devote.
Yeah. But so he reflects on this and determines that to revere God, you get on your knees and start like praying to them, or
he
showing
said bow,
respect.
pretty much bow. Yeah, bow to a certain level and show respect to it. Yeah. And
so they all do that, and the thing stops like killing everybody. It stops shooting the lasers, and it's cool for a minute.
Yeah. Well, and then PTSD kicks in for a couple people.
Yeah.
And they try to make a run for it, and let me just tell you something: there's no escaping. You can't escape God's wrath.
Decision.
So, yeah.
Horrible decision.
So the first guy, I think he's just like, well, I got speed. I'm gonna try to go up there and take care of this.
Right. So literally, as soon as he starts running, he's just like toast.
He is. All that's left is his feet. Boom. Yeah. Whole body gets just disintegrated except for his 2 legs. You see, it just flop to the ground. So and then he's like, well, they're like, what the hell do we do now? It stopped attacking. We got to figure something out. Well, the statue starts standing up. The God statue, the biggest one, starts coming towards them, and like, dude, we gotta figure out how to praise this God. And the guy's like, well, the second guy comes up or whatever, another guy, And he was just like, oh, I've studied this before. Let me pray to him. And he starts like doing some prayers that he learned. And they're like, dude, that's yeah, they're like, dude, those are prayers for a completely different God. Just so you know, not this God. And just steps on him. Dude, that's where
it's pretty brutal.
This is where it gets really brutal because that thing just starts stomping on everybody. The girl, she was starting to scream while she was on her knees. Boom, you just watch the foot just crush her body.
Yep.
And
yeah, it's pretty graphic.
Like, just people are just getting mutilated again. And they're like, all right, well, what the hell do we do?
Yeah, so our homie the hero has another epiphany.
E-rank, baby.
Yeah. And he's looking at all the smaller statues and he determines that, oh, well, there's statues that have weapons and there's some that have musical instruments. So he determines that, like, oh, well, you know, to praise, you would, you know, sing songs and have hymns, whatever. So they all go running to the musical statues.
Yeah, that was the second one because they realized he realized the musical instrument ones also, when you ran up to them, they just wouldn't attack. The musical instruments weren't going to attack you, and they were protecting pretty much.
So our hero, Jin Woo, is the last one to reach the musical statue, and the thing ends up stepping on and crushing his leg. He loses his leg.
Yep. So they realize they got to meet in the middle. And like I said, there's flames there, and the blue flames, basically when they're going out, that's like the time to choose basically the last part, which was devote. It's wanting one of us to devote, so we got to choose who to basically be the sacrifice. Who's going to be the devoted one.
So they all basically go running out except for the healer girl and the main leader of like the raid party.
And I do not remember his name.
I don't remember either, but he was a pretty honorable guy. Like he wasn't an ass or nothing. He was pretty honorable guy.
He was the leader of the group.
He wants to stay to like atone for, you know, getting everybody in this situation. And the main guy, Jin Woo, is telling the raid leader, hey, take her and get out of here. I'm injured already. I'm missing my leg. Like, you guys get out of here and I'll stay.
And he stays, and you're like, oh, this guy devoted. No, devoted means you're going to
sacrifice.
Die. Yeah, it means sacrifice. So he's just like, the episode ends with these statues just beating the shit out of him to death, like stabbing him, flinging him.
It's like real bad.
Yeah, and that's it. And then the episode ends with the final blue flame going out. And that's it. Do we have a main character anymore?
Actually, there is one more little interesting part after that. As this happens, you see this last thing going in to stab him, and then, you know, the screen light goes black, and it pops up with like an SAO looking thing.
Yeah,
and it says new player. You have 0.2 seconds to click yes to join, and that's it. So
it highlights over yes too.
Yes.
So so interesting. Like I said, I don't know a lot about this anime, so the first 2 episodes pretty much just team wiped. So that comes into my question now that we can like kind of like discuss like what our thoughts are and everything. Is like, is this a video game or is this a real world type thing? Because now I'm confused with that ending.
That's what I was unclear about too. I thought it was just another isekai. But now it kind of looks like it's going to go that way. Like, now it looks like it's so weird, though. It's like a divine video game, though. Like, what? I don't know. Right. It's weird.
Right. And, like, it's hard for me to, like... And, like I said, we're probably... This first episode about the 2 episodes, we probably butchered a lot of names. I said,
absolutely.
I came in here not knowing anything. So, if we butchered names, just let us know. But yeah, there's even like things outside the world, like, and that's what makes me think of video game as well, because like the hospital parts, you're meeting characters outside of this party as well, like not big scenes, like there was a small scene of this girl in school, I can't remember her name either, stuff like that. So there's more to this. But like I said, is it? I don't know. That ending episode 2 kind of has more questions than the episode 1 ended with, because episode 1 I was just like, oh, and episode 2 is just Are they going to be party wiped or not?
Episode 1, I could see where it would go, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Episode 2 ending, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a whole different thing now.
Right.
I don't know. I'm curious to see where it's going to go for sure.
Yeah, they definitely do a good job at ending the episodes with like very good and like good like talking topics, like endings. Like some really good cliffhangers. Like I said, episode 1, you're just like, holy crap, is the whole party wiped? You find out in episode 2 they're not, but they're about to be. And then this one, you see that video game ending, and you're just like, or at least the computer screen, you're like, okay, so what the fuck's going on here?
Hey, right.
Like, I need answers. If you guys have any comments or want to talk about how we can't remember names, make sure you guys leave a comment on this video. You know, enter the discussion. We want you guys to, of course, join the discussion, so please let us know in the comments. Make sure you guys like it, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, we'll see you guys during the next Shibui Anime Tavern episode discussion.